What's up guys, it's Kyra and welcome back to my channel. So I'm finally back with another makeup video, you guys. Honestly, my creativity level has been at an all-time low. I feel like with this whole quarantine situation, I just have not had any ideas, and so because of that I have really been kind of keeping to myself and kind of just taking it each day as it comes and not really forcing content whenever I don't really feel like making content or I don't have ideas to create content. But today I am back and I am excited, and I thought it'd be fun to go ahead and kind of put some of the new makeup that I recently received in PR to the test. I don't have enough new products to make a full face, so I will be incorporating some oldies here and there. Like I don't have a new foundation or a new concealer or powders, but the main things are that I have a new palette here from Charlotte Tilbury. I also have some really pretty natural lashes from the Balm that I have here. I also have this intensive moisturizer. It's the Rose Ceramide Cream from Pixi, as well as some lip and other skin products as well. I just wanted to come on here and just play in some makeup that I have not tested and tried out yet and kind of see how it acts here on camera. First up, we're gonna go ahead and do the Pixi Intensive Moisturizer. And I actually haven't even tried this out yet. I'm gonna pull off the top. I have been loving Pixi's skincare products. They're such a good, affordable brand, and their products are so high quality and they're at such a great price. Now this intensive moisturizer here, oh my gosh, you guys, this feels not exactly like the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, but it's probably as close to that particular consistency that I have found so far. You guys see how it instantly moisturized my skin and like gave it a huge surge of hydration, and it feels so good. It's like a really nice thick consistency, and then it's like once you rub it in, it just seeps into the skin. I have found that especially more recently, my skin has been loving thicker cream moisturizers. It really has. I am obsessed with this. Just first impressions, and mind you guys, it smells amazing. It smells so good. Okay, so that is the moisturizer, and then I actually do have a new primer that I want to try out. This is the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Hydrating Primer. They recently came out with a bunch of new primers. So this is the hydrating one, and as you can see, it looks like this. It looks pretty much clear whenever you squeeze it. I'm gonna apply this kind of all over. Now, if you have super oily skin and you want more of a mattifying primer, this is definitely not going to be for you, because this is made for people with more so with normal to dry skin. Now, I have more combination skin, but every now and then I do like a good hydrating primer, but it feels amazing on my skin. It goes on really smooth and it makes my skin feel really smooth. So I feel like this is probably a good primer to really create that flawless, super smooth canvas for the foundation. So that is the primer. Now I will say that this primer did not actually really do much to blur out my pores. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Milk Makeup Blur Stick and just apply this right on there and just see how this primer here interacts with the Laura Mercier, and it looks like it pairs together really well. As you guys see, it didn't, like, you know how sometimes whenever you layer on primers, how it kind of bubbles up or like kind of clumps up sometimes, but this is not doing that at all, which is a good sign. So if you have dry to normal skin, or if you currently are experiencing dry to normal skin, I feel like this Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer would be a good option. And then if you do have larger pores, because you guys know that I'm all about layering primers, so if you do have larger pores, this Milk Makeup Blur Stick works really well. Okay, so for foundation, I wanted to actually pull out the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow Instant Soft Focus Beauty Flash. Now, I think that I have probably used this like once before in the past, but it has been a very long time. I want to pull this out again and just put it to this test, especially with summer being right around the corner. So it says that it can be used under, over, or instead of foundation. And as you all can see, it kind of just comes out in like a really pretty golden liquid consistency. Let's apply this kind of all over just to give my skin a nice healthy glow. Ooh, that's really pretty. It's a very nice, natural, subtle glow that it gives your skin. Okay, so here's with the Wonder Glow. And then here's like without the Wonder Glow. So you see how kind of over here it gives my skin like a really nice luminous finish. Looks really pretty. For foundation, I'm gonna take the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the shade Maple, kind of continuing with the trend of doing a more, or using more lightweight, more luminous products. I'm going to take my Morphe M439 brush, and I'm also testing out a new setting spray, and this is supposed to give your skin a more dewy finish rather than like a mattifying setting spray. So I'm going to spray my brush with it as well as my face with it, and then apply the foundation. Okay, so it definitely tastes disgusting. Don't get it in your mouth or try to avoid that. I'm just gonna pat this all over my face. And you guys know that whenever it comes to foundation, I always love to stipple it in rather than kind of swiping it on, because that is how you prevent getting those streaks. I love this foundation, especially I feel like I always reach for this one during the spring and summer, because it literally gives your skin the most flawless, luminous finish. I have been looking like such a bum the past few days, so not the past few days, past few weeks. So it is nice to get all nice and done up for a change. Okay, damp beauty blender, and just press this into the skin just to get rid of any excess product that's just kind of sitting there that we do not want. And then let's go ahead and apply your concealer. Honestly, I was gonna go ahead and spot treat, but I always forget how flawless of coverage this foundation gives me. So I honestly don't really have any major areas that need a whole lot of coverage. Some days I want to cover it all up, and some days I just don't care, because I feel like at the end of the day, like, skin is skin and it should still look like skin, you know? And I'm actually gonna brighten it up just a hint with the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Concealer in the shade 3W. It's really bright, so I just apply it just here in the center just to brighten up that under eye. I'm gonna do the same thing I did last time. If you guys didn't watch my last makeup tutorial, if you guys haven't seen it, go watch it. It's the video where I did the makeup look that goes with everything, and I had actually used a brush to blend out my under eye concealer. I just really loved the finish of that, and so I want to try it out again with the different brush. So I blended it out with the brush first, and then I lightly go over it with the beauty blender just to even out those edges. Okay, beauty blender, and then just more so focus using light patting motions on the edges where you want to blend out those harsh lines. See how flawless that looks? Oh, it looks so good. Using a really, really light hand. Like, I'm barely tapping my face with the sponge. So I'm gonna take the foundation brush that I used, and then just get any of the excess foundation on the back of my hand, tap over the area that I brought the concealer down a little bit too far. So that's done, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just use my Holy Grail Laura Mercier setting powder, a little bit here on the top. Okay, I'm going to look up. I'll blend out those creases, and then taking a thin layer of powder and first setting this all over. So same thing over here, kind of blend out those creases, dip it in the top, kind of tap off the excess, and then just press this into the skin. Just set it all over first before you go ahead and bake. Okay, and then now I'll take a second layer of powder, same powder, and go with a heavier layer or a thicker layer and actually bake under my eye and everywhere else. The reason why I do that is because I tried it out a couple weeks ago, and I love that technique. And the reason why is because I feel like whenever you apply a thin layer to kind of set that area first before you go in with the thicker layer to bake, I feel like it makes the under eye look way more flawless, because I have noticed that whenever I go in and just straight bake sometimes, what happens is whenever I go and dust it away after I've done my eyes, it kind of takes away some of the foundation sometimes, and I'll have like random little small patches. And whenever I kind of set it all over first with like a really thin layer and then bake on top of that, it gives that baking powder something to like sit on or lay on instead of just going and laying on the foundation. Does that make sense? Hope that makes sense. But I just find that it looks way more flawless when you do it that way. I'm gonna take the Sephora Micro Smooth Powder in the shade Deep and just set everywhere. Like I said, you guys, I didn't really have any new skin complexion products besides the Charlotte's Tilbury Wonder Glow. Just cutting my crease with that same Laura Mercier powder. I'm gonna take my MAC Studio Fix powder in the shade NW48. This is my favorite bronzer product of like all time. Just enough to give some warmth and dimension without going too cray cray. Kind of just brushing it all along my hairline. Whenever it comes to bronzer, I'm not trying to be too specific with where I place it because I want to more so look more sun-kissed. Okay, I also received a Cheek to Chic Intense Swish and Glow blusher from Charlotte Tilbury. I have never used Charlotte Tilbury's blush products, and it's really cool because you have the blush on the outside, which is matte, and then in the center you have the glow. I'm gonna take the outer portion and apply this here. Oh, okay. It's definitely more of like a deep berry or like deep burgundy shade. Very, very, very pretty. Let's add a little dash up here too. Okay, and then gonna take my hotter brush as well as some of the color here in the center, and we'll just see what happens. Okay, so I don't like the highlighter. The blush I was feeling at first, but then it's like once I add on the highlight, I feel like it's looking a bit muddy. And then also you guys know that I tend to like my highlight, my glow, to be more in the like rose gold or bronze family because I like it to really pop. So I personally just don't care much for that highlight. So let's see how it looks whenever, yeah, see, like this to me looks a little bit better because it's not all running together. I feel like whenever you add like the pink highlight on top of the pink blush, it kind of starts to look, especially on women of color, it starts to look a bit muddy and kind of like one-dimensional. So I feel like adding like a nice soft golden highlight like this makes a huge difference. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and hop on to, actually, let me go ahead and do my brows first and I'll come back and do the eyes. And then it'll be eyes, trying out these new lashes, and then our lips. So brows are done. Now we're gonna go ahead and hop into this new palette here that I received from Charlotte Tilbury. It's the Pillow Talk Instant Eye Palette. Ooh, okay, so this is definitely right up my alley. So we have a nice range of nudes here. It says these 3 here are for the day, these 3 here are for the desk, these 3 here are for a date, and these 3 here are for the dream. I do like that this palette here looks like it does have a really good range of mattes. You guys know how I feel about matte eyeshadows, and I hate whenever palettes don't include enough mattes to create multiple looks. But with this palette here, you have, honestly, most of them are mattes besides these 2 here. And then these 2 here, everything else is matte. So that is a good sign for us. I honestly don't really know what I'm going to be creating today, but I'm gonna just go ahead and hop right in and see what we come up with. So I'm thinking that I'm first gonna start off with this really pretty light brown here. And the shades don't have names, I don't believe. I wanted to bring you guys in, but yeah, these don't have names. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop that light brown one into my crease. And so far, I'm really liking this shade of brown. It's not too warm. It's not coming off too orange or too red. It's a really pretty kind of medium brown. It's a nice little something to warm up the skin. And I don't really plan on doing a whole lot with my eyes, especially because the lashes that I have to wear that I picked or that I'm going to be trying out today are very, very natural lashes. So I don't want to do anything that's too bold with my eyes today. And then taking a clean blending brush, blending out those edges. Now going in with this one here just to further deepen up that crease. I can just tell that out of all of the shades, like this little trio here, the date trio is like right up my alley for sure. Ooh, that's so pretty. These colors are layering so perfectly. I am obsessed. I literally love when I find just good quality nude, well, palettes in general, but like ones that include really good quality nude shades that blend out so easily like these. Sometimes the crease can start to look a bit muddy, but you see how here, how it is just like building up perfectly without getting like too gray. That is exactly what I like to see. Okay, I'm thinking of doing like a halo eye. So to do that, you just put the colors in the crease, and then you want to take something a lot more precise, like a pencil brush, something like this. And then I'm going to take this even darker chocolate shade here in the same Date Trio, and apply this right in the inner and outer portion of the eye on both sides. It's super simple. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm like, no lie, I would buy this palette just for these 3 shades right here. Like, just look at how flawless this eye is turning out. Going back with that second shade and kind of blending everything together. So then lastly, I'm going to take, I need a good shimmer shade. I'm thinking this one right here, which is part of the Day Trio. This really pretty champagne here. Actually, I think this would be really pretty too. No, let's do this one. I always reach for this shade, so I'm thinking that this one here will be really pretty. Just pop. Ooh! Oh, that is beautiful. Excuse my janky nails, y'all. But oh wow, that is gorgeous. And then you just press this right in the center. Okay, other side. Again, kind of swiping this on. And just press it right in the center. Okay, so this obviously turned out a lot more dramatic than I planned on it, but y'all get the gist. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of that golden shimmer shade and just pop this right along my brow bone. Okay, y'all, so I wanted to note real quick that my camera actually stopped recording whenever I finished off the lower lash line. So all I did is I applied the Alkaline Gel Liner by Urban Decay in the waterline, smudged it out with the exact same shadows, and then just popped on the Big Fan Lashes by the Balm. Okay, so I went ahead and lined my lips with the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade On Ice. It's a really, really pretty deep berry or deep burgundy shade. So I applied that, and then going in with the Click Velour Matte Lipstick from Laura Mercier. Gonna just hot this right on top. Just gives a nice little pop of color there. Oh, this is so pretty. All right, guys, so here is the finished look. I went ahead and added a little beauty mole there because I have a pimple. I don't know where it came from, but she is not letting me be great, so I went ahead and added that. But here is the final look. And y'all, let me reiterate that I love whenever unplanned looks turn out amazingly. I am feeling this smoky, you know, vampy lip combo. I'm loving it. Like, I literally would buy this palette just for this little Date Trio there. Even the lashes look, I feel like the lashes go perfectly with this look because it still gives you some drama and some volume without it looking too heavy or too full. And it's like just the right amount to balance the look out. And then of course, you guys know how much I have raved about the Laura Mercier. And of course, you guys know how much I have raved about the Laura Mercier Velour Matte Lipsticks in the past. And of course, today it did not disappoint. All right, guys, so went ahead and popped on some earrings, kind of complete the look. Still very much obsessed with this look. I do want to do one more thing before I go ahead and completely end it all off. I wanted to use the new Pixie Glow, well, it's new to me, the new Pixie Glow Mist. Let's go ahead and apply it. I can tell that, of course, it didn't mattify my skin. It really helps to kind of soften the overall finish by getting rid of that powdery look, but it also really does a good job of like not only making my skin look like skin, but it makes the makeup almost kind of, I don't want to say like it kind of melts, but it just makes it look like very soft and very natural, and it does give a little bit of a dewy finish, so that I really do like. And I can't wait to use this throughout the spring and the summer. Well, let's be real, spring will be over by the time we can go out the house, but this will definitely come in handy this summer. All right, guys, so that is it for this makeup tutorial using a bunch of new goodies that I recently got in the mail. Hope you guys enjoyed this makeup tutorial. If you guys did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye, y'all.